Live! Woohoo! I do like these. Right, let's go and get myself set up. As soon as refresh that, turn the sound off there. Right, so I can see all the live stuff coming through. Where are we? How do I? Oh, I see. There we go. Okay. Hi, Claire. Welcome, everyone. Woohoo! We've got 4 people, 6 people. Awesome. Yeah, I deliberately didn't publicize this one as much. Charlie. Oh, I remember you, Charlie. Yes, hello. Acton Trussell. How can I forget Acton Trussell? Awesome. Yeah. Gorgeous little village, town. So yeah, I just wanted to, I just think it's important to do something a little bit different. It's something different to do, and excuse me, I'm just gonna get my rum. I already had one, Cheers, everyone. Yeah, just wanted to, right, so Shrike, something, what's something, Shrike? What? Yeah, hell, God. What a year this has been, hasn't it? Bloody hell. Actually, at this time, I would like to say a big hello to Charlie, actually, at this time. My mate from Texas. Because right now, we'd be on a 70-foot narrowboat cruising around the Cheshire Ring. But because of bloody coronavirus, corona crap as I call it, all flights out of the US, international flights have been cancelled, and he's had to cancel his holiday that he booked in like January or something. But I said to him, look, we're getting a narrowboat next year. Why don't you just come on the narrowboat and have a real experience, not on a hire boat, but, in a real narrowboat. The authentic experience cruising around the canal. It's not a bloody hire boat, which, anyway. Yeah, Claire, like I said, bloody COVID. Seriously, it's just put the, So yeah, I would have had a lovely holiday, on a 70-foot narrowboat by now. But, and Charlie would have been cooking for me and, all that kind of thing. And it would have been great. I was so looking forward to meeting Charlie. He's such a wonderful guy. He really is. So that's all been postponed till next September. I think he's booked his leave in for. So hopefully, all this COVID crap will have subsided by then. I mean, it's just getting worse. Si, how's my new 12-volt system? Yeah, it's doing alright, actually, Si. I run my generator almost every other day because at the moment I'm running a laptop, lights, obviously, my cool box, which I'm about to switch off because it's actually getting cooler at night now, so I can potentially, I've got myself a little, I don't know if you can see that, a little cupboard. Yeah, can just see that little cupboard in the back there, which goes into the engine bay. But I might put a little shelf in there so I can keep some, things that I would normally keep in the cool box in there, because that's the coldest part of the boat. So I'm about to switch it off because theoretically it says it uses 3.5 amps, but I'm sure it uses more than 3.5 amps. As someone said on my group, the Yoga Pots, which I'm now a member of and admin again, that's the Facebook group, the Yoga Pots, the group for cruiser enthusiasts. Someone mentioned in perfect conditions it probably uses 3.5 amps, but when they tested it in the lab, but after time you use it, it switch, the seals go, or what have you, whatever the issue is. But yeah, apart from that, it's going great. I think another couple of batteries would be really good, because I only got two 130 amp hour batteries, so I think an extra one would be kind of really cool. But I'm cycling them a lot more now, so I can get it down to about 11.4 volts before the lights go off. So I've learnt that the more you cycle batteries and let them discharge and charge again, the longer they last, the quicker they charge, etc. So I'm just going to see if I can turn chats off here. No, maybe not. Because I can see it. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, so 12 volt. Yeah, it's doing all right. It's keeping everything charged. But like I said, I do have to run the generator every other day. But that said, if I was on a narrowboat, I'd be having to run the diesel engine anyway, which is what narrowboaters do, what most liveaboards do, from what I can gather. Solar, yeah, it's a bit. At the moment, it's a bit, you can't really rely on solar, especially over the winter. I'm finding I'm only getting a few amps, which is barely enough to run the cool box. So, yeah, I do have to. What am I getting at the moment? I'm getting none, probably, because it's 6 o'clock. I'm getting 0.1 amps through the solar at the moment. Yeah, that's nothing, basically. But I've got the generator on. So yeah, I have to run that pretty much every day, maybe every 2 days. But if I don't have lights, and at least I'm having a few little extra things, a few little extra luxuries on my boat that I didn't have before. Yeah, like lights. That's the big one, and power enough to power my laptop and all that sort of stuff. Right, so let's go. So I'm just going through the list, because I just want to make sure I sort of say hello to everyone. Hi Mark, how's it going? Where are you now? Are you still in Whedon, or have you moved? I think you said you had to move. Like, I have to move, I think in Tuesday or Wednesday. I've got to take my cat. Oh, hang on a second, get my cat. Come here, Kinka. Here's my poor little kitty. Lampshade kitty, we call her. But yeah, she's doing a lot better. That was the legs that she injured. It's fairly well healed over now. She's on antibiotics and anti-inflammatories. I've got to take her to the vet again on Tuesday. And then hopefully the cone can come off and I can start traveling again. But I'm not going to go far. I'm going to go down the other end of the Stourbridge Canal. Don't get me started about Stourbridge. If you want to read an article that I've written about Stourbridge, jump onto my website. Yeah, I've called it shithole or sanctuary. Well, the hotel I stayed in last night was a sanctuary compared to the hotel that I booked into originally. Oh, yeah, anyway, go read all about it on my blog. Yeah, not that impressed with Stourbridge, but I really did love the glass house, the furnace and factory and stuff where they used to make all the glass. Oh, fantastic. Love that. That was absolutely awesome. Unfortunately, the actual cone was kind of closed because it's kind of falling apart and they need to assess all the heritage, bloody blah. But yeah, it was, but I did manage to sneak in a couple of photos and stuff like that. But the exhibition was free. Must be a first. I've never been to an exhibition that was free in England before. And they give you a free booklet as well. And it gives all history about, they made glass for the royal family. They made glass for the Titanic and the Queen Mary. All handmade. Absolutely, yeah, amazing stuff. So that's its only saving grace, apart from the fact it's got a vet, and it's got all the usual services you find in every other town, like petrol stations and, Aldi's and all that kind of stuff, So, um, right. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't... if I come back this way, I'll probably just cruise through Stourbridge. But my plan is now to actually turn around and go back the other way, back down towards Kidderminster and Stourport, which I love Stourport and Kidderminster. Oh, beautiful towns in comparison. Really, really is beautiful part of the world. So I'm going to hang down there, hopefully for the winter, because my poor old knee, it's still sore. I twisted it in today pushing the bloody shopping trolley. Can you believe it? So it's kind of a bit sore again. So I'm going to try and go down. There's a leisure centre. Oh, I kicked car. Jesus. So this is what happens, right? She loses her grip. She hasn't got peripheral vision. So she jumps up into my lap and then she misses and then the claws come out. Oh, ow. So yeah, there's a leisure centre down sort of the bottom end of Kidderminster, where I'm going to try and hang around, because it's got a swimming pool. I thought, well, swimming pool is really good for, rehab on my knee and also my tennis elbow and what have you. So, I'm going to try to hang down around there, for the winter. In fact, my other half's coming up for Christmas. I'm going to hang around there for Christmas. We're booked into a hotel. It's actually a Premier Inn, which is where we stayed last night, which is awesome because it's only £35 a night. So I had a bath, oh, so nice to have a bath. It's been, I can't actually remember the last time I had a bath. In fact, it's been probably about 4 weeks since I've had a proper shower. So yeah, we're booked in there for a few nights and booked into a local pub. Hopefully that's still open for Christmas Day, for Christmas lunch. Don't know what the new restrictions are going to be. I mean, that's why I'm not getting too excited about anything just yet. I want to hear what the next round of restrictions is going to be with this bloody coronavirus, that are being announced tomorrow by the PM. So, yeah, I'm kind of, waiting to hear about that, before I get too excited about, jumping in the pool again. I'd love to do that. I really miss swimming. It's one thing I really love to do, but, yeah, so we'll wait and see. Right, who else we got here? Captain Squizzle. Yeah. Oh god, I've got tons of messages to go through. I've been rambling a bit, see. So we're only 13 minutes into it. Back to Milton Keynes. Yes, we like Milton Keynes actually. Kind of shame. Yeah, sofa replaced by office chair. Best thing I could have done, because my back was beginning to hurt like you would not believe. That was another thing that was causing me pain. I had a bench seat that ran along the back here, and I made it literally out of a couple pieces of timber and some old foam. But I was just leaning over and it just wasn't supporting my back at all. So I've now got a fully reclining office chair. Woo! So it gives me lumbar support, and my back issues is completely gone. Added to that, I've also got a memory foam mattress in the front cabin, and I have really good night's sleep. But if you've seen what I used to sleep on, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I was sleeping literally on old pieces of foam, like this thick, that would squish down to that, and yeah, all my back problems have gone. So that's one good thing. Yeah, so I have got a few more creature comforts now. Excuse me while I just stoke my stove. Oh god. Yeah, I have really enjoyed this little Newport stove. It's done really good up until recently, because it doesn't. I'm gonna have to put some kindling in there because it doesn't. By kindling, I've come to the realization that stainless steel and coal do not mix. Coal eats stainless steel. In fact, I've just put another couple of new stainless steel plates in there, and it's already eaten it. I've hardly used the stove over the summer, but for the time I have had it in there, it's basically eaten away the plates. So I'm really not impressed. I'll never buy a Newport stove again, ever. I mean, unless I was using just for wood, but it's just not appropriate for living life on water. And considering it costs, mega amounts of money, I could have bought a cast iron stove for half the price and it would have lasted so much longer. So, anyway, yeah, disappointed about the Newport stove. I'll probably do another vlog about that actually. Do not use coal in this. Doesn't matter what coal you use, it just disintegrates it. So I am actually now looking, investigating and getting a cast iron one to get me through the winter, because I don't think this one's going to last me through the winter, to be fair. But that means I'll have to... I do have the space actually to create a hearth or a hearth or something. And, get a proper chimney. I'll probably regret it because I did get so damn hot. Right, let's have a look at this. Right, oh my God, I've got so many messages. Hello everybody. Hello, Captain Squizzle. Okay, God. Okay, I've got to go through these. Captain Squizzle, when you get a new boat, we'll be looking at 57. It all depends on what I can get for the money. My budget's not going to be huge. I'm probably going to have about £20,000, which I know is not a lot of money for a narrowboat, but I'll take what I can get. It'll be my first narrowboat. Look, I don't care. As anything can be better than this. Seriously, anything is an improvement as long as it's got headroom. Because I am sick. I banged my head 3 times today. I almost cancelled the live stream because I was in such a foul mood, because I'm so sick to death of banging my head on everything, the ceiling, and then scraping. It doesn't bang, it scrapes, it bleeds, and yeah. Anyway, rum fixes that, and I had a little bit of a rest as well. So yeah, headroom, a proper galley with LPG hob, and an oven, so I can bake bread and I can make meals. Because the one thing I don't like about this galley is it wouldn't matter even if I had an oven in here, I wouldn't enjoy cooking. I don't enjoy cooking because I have to do this all the time. I have to bow my head down all the time. It's just not comfortable. It's not enjoyable cooking on this boat. So I still stick to survival meals. So yeah, it's only got to have a few basics, really. If it's got a shower, yeah, a shower would be really beneficial. It's part of the reason why I am checking into a few hotels now, because especially when it's cheap, like 30 quid, once every couple of weeks or 3 weeks or something, because yeah, I need a shower. The longest I've gone is, well, I've got my weed sprayer, and I just set it up the other day in the boat, but it's gone, it's died, so I have to get another weed sprayer as well. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to join the gym as well. And that's what I did last year, was I went to all the gyms, but of course during lockdown all the gyms closed, didn't they? So I had no ways and means of actually having a shower, except, well, you saw my tent. So the weather was warmer, so I could have cold showers, that was no problem. But now that it's winter, shit, if they're bringing more restrictions, which I'm thinking they'll probably do, gyms could be the next on the chopping block after pubs, which is going to be a real shame. So, but yeah, yeah, at the very least have a shower. So yeah, headroom, a decent kitchen or galley, a shower, and if it's got a stove as well, all the better. But as long as the hull's okay and the engine's okay, all the rest of it's cosmetic. And quite frankly, I could do with another DIY project because I'm kind of finished with this one now, you know. For God's sake, seriously, just light. Yeah, I was a bit jealous of you, Mark, when you said, you know, you had your stove on. You know, it lasted for 20 hours. This bloody thing doesn't last for 20 minutes. You have to keep on feeding it, you know. And of course, if I put coal in there, it just eats away the stainless steel. So it doesn't matter. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a bit jealous of people in narrowboats who've got, or any other boat that's got a cast iron stove. This is only designed for leisure use, and to be fair, I'm really only in a leisure boat. You know, it's only a weekender, really, that I've tried to make a liveaboard, which has been a liveaboard for now 18 months. But yeah, I can't wait to get into a narrowboat. Just, so yeah, Captain Squizzle. Yeah, it depends on what I can get for my money. And to be fair, I think I'm actually gonna find my boat through word of mouth, because several people have already come up to me and said, "Oh, look, I've got a 70 foot, I've got a 57 foot. They're going for £20,000. I just wish I had £20,000 now. I would have been on a narrowboat now. The 57 footer, or 50, I think it might have been 55, was all decked out, ready to go. The guy just wanted to get rid of it because I think his missus died or something like that, and he just wanted out. He just wanted to get rid of it. It was just taking up space, so he's paying up money. He just wanted out. So I think I'm actually going to find a good boat just by speaking to people I meet on the cut. But I'll probably do when I've got the cash in the account, that's when I'll do a vlog about it, and I'll say, hey people, who do you know on the cut that's got a narrowboat? I'll quite happily travel. I don't really care where I go. It can be Leeds and Liverpool Canal, it could be Yorkshire, it could be London. It doesn't matter, because I'll just, you know, move everything into my partner's car and then, or move the boat down there and transfer everything over. So it depends on what I can get, I guess. I suppose I could probably do 30, but I prefer 40 if I can get it. Yeah, 40 and above, I think. 40 to 50, I think, would be a good size to start anyway, you know. Preferably a cruiser stern or maybe a semi-trad. Just because I want my friends to all come over. You know, Charlie from Texas, and I've got, you know, Rick from Australia, and even friends here in England, you know, so they can all come and enjoy the cruise with me. I can't do that on a trad. And I'm not really that much of an enthusiast yet either, you know. Right. Hi Daniel from Canada. Hello, welcome. Mark asked whether there's any maintenance required on a GRP hull. Well, yeah, so in a narrowboat you need to get it blacked every 3 years, you need to put sacrificial anodes on it, all that kind of stuff. No, there's very little maintenance you need on a GRP hull. So much so, you don't even need a survey when you buy a GRP boat. I didn't have a survey done. I took a risk, I guess, because I kind of didn't know what I was doing. And that's part of the reason I set up my group on Facebook called the Yoga Pots, because I kind of needed some help. Reinstallation and heating and ventilation and what have you. Yeah, I mean, I've lived on it now. I've had it 2 years. It'll be 2 years in November I've had this boat. And I've had, I checked the bilge. There's no leaks coming in there at all. I mean, okay, it looks like shit from the outside. You know, and it's got stuff growing on the bottom of it and what have you. But from what I've learned over the past couple of years, it's not really necessary to take it out of the water. Unless it was seagoing. Different story. My parents had a yacht and it was moored in seawater, and it used to get barnacles on it and osmosis, because the salt water basically, eats away at the plastic, the fiberglass. So we used to have to take it out. I think it was once every 6 months or something, and then pressure wash it and give it a coat of anti-foul and stuff like that. But because I'm on a canal that's fresh water, for lack of a better phrase. I mean, it's not such fresh, but you know what I mean. We don't have to need to bother really. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, hardly any maintenance whatsoever. So in that regard, I don't really have to worry too much. Sorry, Kinky, you have to go off now. Right. Matt Mitchell, what about my cats? This is part of the reason I got cats, because cats look after themselves. With dogs, you need to walk them every day. They need a lot more maintenance than cats do. I've left my cats in my house for 4 days. I've left my cats on the boat for several days. And they look after themselves. As long as they got water, they will quite happily probably sleep through most of it, I'd say. From what I understand, cats can sleep up to like 18 hours a day, probably more. Although these two, oh, here's my other one. I'll get my other one now. Here's Electra. Say hello, Electra. Oh, yeah, she's not, I've kept them in actually for the past week and a half because Kinka's had her injury. So I want to sort of keep her indoors, even though with the cone on she can't get through the cat flap. But yeah, I just thought it was easy if I just kept them indoors. And since I have, they become so much more cuddly. Haven't you? Just quite happily jump off my lap now and just sit there. Or maybe not now. Okay. So yeah, no issue with the cats. And people always ask me when they walk past, oh, do they always come back to the boat? I said, yep. I do let them out. I think it's healthy to have them wander around and have some outdoor time. But they'll always wander back. But I do chuck harnesses on them whenever I cruise, because as soon as they hear the engine go off, even the other day, I literally moved the boat just a few hundred yards. And as soon as I stopped, the engine was still running, but as soon as I stopped, Kika just jumped out and started exploring. So I have to put harnesses on them, especially when doing locks and stuff. I just don't want them to run into any problems or difficulties. Just gives me peace of mind when I'm cruising. But no problems. They love canal life. Their anxiety is at an all-time low. As is mine actually, now that I'm back on social media a little bit, but now that I've switched off YouTube comments, my anxiety is low as well. I don't have to put up with all the crap from trolls. Which, by the way, if you are like me, get a friend to act as proxy and set up a website with an email address, just like I do. In fact, I have been inundated with so many lovely personal messages and emails from people. It's just wonderful. It really is. I do try and, where possible, respond to people. It just beats the hell out of YouTube comments. It really does. But all my emails are rerouted through my friend Charlie in Texas. And of course, he's 6 hours behind. And then he just sends me all the positive, constructive emails and ditches the rest, trashes the rest. So he tells me about them occasionally. But I don't even get to hear it. Don't even care. Don't need to know. It's brilliant system. Right. Yeah, the bath. I swear to God, I'm going to try and find a way to have a bath on my boat, on my narrowboat that is, because it is just the one thing. My mate Keith is actually converting his GRP boat to all electric. And he's going to put into like a water filtration system as well. So I'm sure there'll be some way that I can work out how to heat hot water and maybe recycle it or something or other. So that I can have a bath on my narrowboat, because that's the one thing that I really miss. Being in a cold climate. Like, oh, the bath last night was so lovely. You know, it was a really deep one too, so I just covered myself in hot water and you know, bath crystals. Oh, it was so nice to just lie there and soak and switch off. So yeah, that is one thing I would really like to get myself, is a bath if I can do it. No, I didn't head to Stony Stratford. That's one place I didn't head to, actually. I did see the canal branch off there, but I meant to go for a walk up there, and I just, for some reason, but I will be out back that way because I have friends in Leighton Buzzard. So probably when I get my narrowboat now, I will head back down the Grand Union. I'll probably do the whole network. Everything I've done in the GRP Cruiser, I'll probably do again in the narrowboat. You know, I want to go back to the Calderton Canal. In fact, I want to spend a winter on the Calderton Canal in my narrowboat. I want to see what it's like. I want to get snowed in. That's my next challenge. I want to get snowed in or iced in to see what it's like. You know, but I want to do it on a narrowboat, not on this thing. You know, yeah. So, I mean, yeah. I would like to, there's so many other places I'd like to explore, but it's like buying a new car, isn't it? You know, you want to go driving in it, and you know, so it's going to be the same. When I get a new narrowboat, I'm going to want to cruise it, and I'll probably cruise back the same route that I've done, because it's going to be completely different. Places I've moored in, say on the Calderton Canal, I may not be able to do in a narrowboat because of my water draft. Because my water draft at the moment is, what else? Probably about half a foot max. Whereas drafts on narrowboat can be up to 3 feet. So, yeah, you know, so yeah, all those sort of things I want to do again. And I'm going to be doing this for years anyway, you know, 10 years, 20 years. I don't see myself ever living in a house again. It's just, yeah, it's way too much fun living in a boat. So I'm going to have a sip of rum because I'm a bit running out of voice. I'll read some 12 volt, who asked that? 12 volt diesel heaters. um, Someone asked about 12, here we go. Oh god, I've missed a whole stack of people. Uh, 12 volt diesel heaters. So I've lost my place where so many people. Yeah, if you're 6'3", I think you'd struggle. I'm struggling. I'm 6 foot, and I'm struggling. The problem with GRP cruisers is the headroom, essentially. Unless you can like I'm okay now because I'm sitting down. That's the most for the part. But when I have to get up, it's sort of like I have to tilt my head over and sort of crouch through the boat. You know, it's a bit of a hassle. The only one place that I can stand fully upright is the center cockpit of my boat. I've just got just enough headroom to stand fully upright, which is really good when I use my little weed sprayer for a shower. But that's it. I think if you're taller than 6 foot, you'd really struggle. If I was 5'9", I'd probably not get a narrowboat. I'd probably just put up with what I've got, because it wouldn't be such a hassle to use things and cook and that sort of thing. 12 volt diesel heaters. I was really anti 12 volt diesel heaters when and there's lots of people have bought them now, the cheap Chinese ones. Look, each to their own. I just didn't want to go down the avenue of trying to install another system on this boat. It's another fuel to worry about. It's and at the time, probably the reason I was anti it, because they do require a fair amount of amperage, from my understanding, to start up, but then use not very, don't use very much when they're running. It's just they require a big boost to get them running. And I didn't have any proper batteries at that point. So I was kind of answering them. I'm like, well, the thing I like about this little stove is it's all mechanical, and I'll just pan around so I can maybe see it a little bit, it's got no moving parts apart from the eco fan, and it does all right, it burns great. Coal burns great inside it, except for the fact that it disintegrates stainless steel. My base plate in there now is disintegrated. I've purchased some more stainless steel plates to put in there to try and, because it's literally getting holes in it now. It's great for, well, I say leisure use, occasional use, but not as, you can't leave it on, it won't last. So we'll chuck a little bit more kindling in there now, just so it kind of boosts it up a bit. You have to keep on feeding it like I am doing now, and I'll just chuck a few little mini logs. So I go out pretty much every couple of days and find firewood. It's fun. It's a fun thing to do. Gets me outdoors. I'll just chuck a bit of that in there now just to get that going again. So the boat does get cold because of that, unfortunately, especially in the mornings. So do get a bit cold. I think if I was going to get a 12-volt diesel heater in my narrowboat, we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, I just didn't want to have to, because you got to have the air intake, the exhaust out, blah blah blah. I'm just like, I don't really want to bugger hours around with that now. I do like that for its simplicity. It's been a great little stove. It's lasted me pretty well. It's done a pretty good job. When we get coal in there, it does a pretty good job. But yeah, unfortunately, coal and stainless steel just do not mix. Real shame, considering it cost me so much. Right, who we got here? What else? I better just go up further. Claire asked me about a diesel stove. I don't like diesel stoves. I watched the vlog with Narrowboat Experience because they installed a diesel stove, but you still have to use like methylated spirits to light it. And I've heard from another vlog that I watched, I think it was a bloke that decked out a sailboat, a yacht, and he said that you can get the smell of diesel through the cabin, and I'm like, oh, I don't really like that idea. And besides, I love the flame. I'm a bit of a romanticist, I love watching the flame. I mean, I know coal doesn't really produce much flame, but I'm a visual person. I do like the warm visual of the burning wood or the warm glow of coal. So I don't think I'll be ever going down the avenue of, and I don't mind getting my hands dirty. That's part of, getting firewood or getting coal dust on your hands. It's part of the experience, I think, so I don't really mind. You can wash it off. And I've got no fingernails because, I've been a chronic nail biter all my life, so I don't have to worry about getting soot or coal dust under my fingernails because I haven't got any. Right. It's part of my my anxiety, my anxiety and depression things. I've been a constant nail biter, chronic nail biter since I was born. And I've just, over the years, I've tried fixing it, but I just, had treatment and all sorts of every remedy under the sun. And now it's just me. It's just the way I manage things now. And I just, at my age, I'm like, oh, if it happens one day, it happens, but I'm not going to get overly worried about it anymore, Right. Davo, yeah, look forward to catching up with you eventually, Davo. Oh, engines. Don't talk to me about bloody engines. I fucking hate engines. Oh, yeah, 15 pulls it took that day. Mind you, I hadn't started for a week. So I've learnt that, petrol does evaporate. So I'm getting now in the habit of starting the engine every other day. Just keep the fuel pumping through it so it doesn't end up leaving that film of ethanol at the bottom of the bowl. Seems to be running okay. It's stuttering a little bit. I was coming through Stourbridge. I was putting it at higher revs, it seemed to stutter a bit. And then someone suggested that I should tighten the spark plugs. So I've done that. I haven't cruised it since, so it'll be very interesting to see if I can increase the throttle. But I don't really care now. I'm going to go literally at 2 miles an hour now anyway. To mile down the road, mile down the canal. And then maybe do the locks 2 weeks later, because I'm really not in a hurry now. I need to keep my knee a rest still. I need to rest it as much as possible. We're coming into winter anyway. I'm just going to take my time, and just, take a real steady. It's a beautiful canal through here, actually. Just not Stourbridge, the town centre itself. Or the canal town arm. The first bit of it was kind of okay until you get to like the end of it, and look on my website, you'll see photos of it, or see I've actually recorded a vlog about it. It just was so disappointing. Real shame. But all the locals I meet in Stourbridge that say, oh, you should have seen it 40 years ago. It's like everywhere else in England apparently. All these little satellite suburbs or satellite towns are just becoming derelict over a period of time, as the population grows, etc. Something like Highbridge. Yeah, I've heard Highbridges have headroom, but there's a lot of other things, a lot of reasons I want a narrowboat. Diesel engines, from my understanding, are a lot more efficient, a lot more reliable, and you can do a lot more things with them, like charge batteries more efficiently and produce things like hot water, that sort of thing. I think that would be, it's been a great starter boat. It really has. I've got so much experience just living life on the water. Someone mentioned also, I just saw there about being unemployed, how that's going to affect my application for permanent residency next year. The fact is it won't. I have been employed in the UK. I've paid national insurance. My partner works, and we have an apartment down south. It's a shoebox. But we still pay council tax, and we still pay, all that sort of things. It's not really an issue. I'll just mention it now. You're going to laugh at this. Life in the UK. This is what I have to study. I have to do a life in the UK test at the end of the year. I think it's the end of the year or early next year. And it's basically a test of 24 questions. You have to answer all about life in the UK, and it's actually quite a good read because it's filling in all the sort of gaps that I'm like learning about history. I love learning about English history, so it goes into, but it's just really stupid questions in here as well, like there's. Which of the following statements is correct? Civil servants are politically neutral. Civil servants have to be politically aligned to the elected government. It's kind of a loaded question, one, isn't it? Depending on what you... I've watched too much Yes Prime Minister to answer that question. It's got lots of, it's all about life in the UK. Every aspect of it, from history to kings and queens, about inventions, everything. So I've got to study this book, pass the test, and then we'll get our indefinite leave to remain. Once we get indefinite leave to remain, that's our passport, if you like, to getting permanent residency. I think that'll happen the following year. I think it like lasts a year, and then you can apply for full permanent residency and apply for British citizenship, get your passport, all that kind of stuff. You know, sweet allegiance to the Queen. Yeah, well, I have a lot more respect for her than the Prime Minister of Australia, let me tell you, Scott Morrison. Oh. um, So, yeah, but I'm not really a fan of Boris. I hate to say it, no. Personally, I think he's a twat. But we won't go the politics route. But yeah, that's my pathway. And to be fair, you know, I still pay a license fee. So, I'm just traveling. That's all I'm doing. I'm traveling around the UK on a visa. As I say, my partner still works, and we've got an apartment, so we're still paying council tax and all that sort of thing. We've just got to pass that test, basically, and that's our main pathway into permanent residency. So hopefully that will happen next year. I still think, though, we're still going to have a house, some sort of a bricks and mortar house, whether it be a rental. We talked about this last night, actually, about getting a house somewhere. I think because Duncan, my partner, can work from home, which he's probably been doing since lockdown. So that means that he can work from the boat. But we also, I think it'd be good to have, we're thinking a cottage somewhere. And I was just thinking last night, maybe a canal side cottage would be really, really cool. It means I can have the best of both worlds. I can just pop in for a shower and then come back out to the boat. Or even just a house that's, you know, got, what do they call it? End of garden mooring. So we'll, in fact, there's a really good website called Canalside Properties that I started looking at last night. So, you know, that may be something, or a little quaint little cottage in the country, up in Yorkshire somewhere, or something like that, near a canal. You know, maybe up near Leeds or Hebden Bridge or something like that. You know, so I still, yeah, that'd be ideal. I don't think I'm going to go back to a job. Yeah, the problem is I almost suffer from attention deficit disorder because I get bored with stuff so easily. It would have to be a hands-on kind of job. When I first arrived, I got a job in a picture framing factory. If you've ever ordered a picture frame online, frames.co.uk, chances are I would have made your picture frame. But it was a factory, and it was really hands-on. I really kind of enjoyed it. So that would have to be the kind of job that I do. But I love traveling, and so that's probably what I'm going to be doing. I've got the travel bug now, so I think to just sell the boat and go back to a normal life, I don't think it would suit me at all. I just love traveling too much. Yeah, and exploring England. Love England, and I love exploring England, or I should say the UK, shouldn't I? Not just England, because Britain incorporates Scotland and Ireland. I've not even been to Ireland yet, but have been to Scotland. Right, better catch up on some messages instead of me rambling on like a drunkard. Oh, health and well-being, Keith. Hello. Yes, sorry, mate. I forget that sometimes. Well, people go into aliases. I never know who's who. Paul Roberts, have you tried an narrowboat, Nick? Yes, I have, Paul. I have. I've been on 2 hire boats. One was a 32 footer, and the other was a 57 footer, and I would have tried a 70 footer as well. They were hire boats, of course. Bit different, yeah. I mean, the flat bottom is one thing. I kind of like the V hull. I find them, yeah, they rock a little bit differently. Um, but yeah, I think it's all about space, isn't it? For me it is space and creature comforts. Um, yeah, which I have a few more of now. Obviously, I've got 12-volt system and cool box and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, just things like shower and a decent bed. I mean, the memory foam mattress I have now is pretty decent. It's a lot better than what I was before, but I can't. I have to. That's part of the problem with my knee. I have to crawl and crouch and twist and turn to get into the front cabin now. Um, I have a good night's sleep while I'm in there, but I have to crawl and stuff and try and get out of it, in and out. It's a bit of a pain. So I just like a bed where I can actually just, you know, stand upright and just fall onto it, just fall into bed rather than having to twist and turn to get into it. So, yeah. Yeah. Yes. She's meowing at me. I know exactly what she wants. I can just tell the types of meows she makes now. And I know exactly what you want. You want treats. That's what you want. Go up there. We can go down there. Go on, off you go. Don't give me your crap. Your famous buddy. Do you know what? Today I was just walking down the towpath, and one guy. I was walking with my partner, and and this guy walked past. He goes, "Oh, Aussie Boda, hi! I love your vlogs." I'm like, and then the other day, a couple of months ago, I was at Penkridge, and I was walking down the main street of Penkridge, and I had another guy say, "Hi, Aussie Boda." It's the beard, isn't it? It is. It's the beard. Everyone recognizes me for the friggin' beard. I should shave it off, then people would recognize me. No, I won't do that. I like my beard too much now to get rid of it. Yeah, I could never go back to shaving either. I wouldn't say I'm famous though. I don't let it get to my head anyway. Like it's just, yeah. I'm just Nick. I'm just Aussie Boda. I just like doing what I do and sharing my journey with you. Be it everything. I mean, most of you see my vlogs. I record everything. But I just don't have the patience or the time or the inclination to sit there in front of a computer and edit videos and music. I find music contrived. All the music that people put on video, I just find it really contrived. It can either make or break a video, and most of the vlog, and this is why I don't watch a lot of the vloggers, because they all put music to it, and I think it's ghastly. It can make or break a video, and for most of them, they either put the incorrect music on. Yeah, it's the same with subtitles and all that kind of stuff. It's all really, I just don't do that. It's all really contrived, and voiceovers, and some people do it really well. Cruising the Cut, Foxes Afloat do it really well. But for everyone else, it grates me actually. So I tend not to watch too many. And besides, I don't need to. This is part of the reason I don't subscribe to most channels, is it's information overload. I don't need to watch every other person's vlog about their narrowboat journey or their journey as a whole, because I'm doing it myself. And I think it's great that people love watching my channel, but I don't need to watch it, because actually living it yourself, there's just nothing like it. Nothing beats actually just doing it yourself. Originally I did. When I first got interested in canals, I watched Cruising the Cut. David was the first channel I think I ever saw. Who was the other one? Narrowboat Experience and Indie Projects. That's right. Watched a lot of their videos in the beginning, but they sold their thing and moved to van life. So yeah, I just I don't, unless it's something on DIY. Or something really interesting. That's why I like Foxes Afloat, because they really do the history part well. And they got me when they did the Standards Tunnel. I'm like, oh, wicked. You know, they're really excellent production value. Really, they are, you know, fantastic. So I'm looking forward to meeting them too one day. But I tend not to watch a lot. It's just, and notification after notification after notification, it just all gets a bit much. You know, there's so many vloggers out there now, and they seem to be all on narrowboats, and I'm like, I really do not need to see this. I really don't. Unless you've got something specific that's unique and unusual, chances are I won't watch it. Anyway. Thanks, Brian. With drunks, how do I deal with drunks on the cut? Say hello. I'm always, it's funny, people, I found on the cut, I did write an article about this as well, about listening to hearsay about where and where not to moor. Because I've heard so many people, boaters, who all said to me, oh, don't moor at Kidderminster, because I have heard of other boaters having bad okay, so I've actually written an article about that too. I don't generally have a problem with kids or drunks or anybody on the towpath. If someone's drunk, I usually say, hey mate, how's it going? You know, I just accept everybody. Right, I think a lot of boaters get kind of really uptight or unsure about, or just nervous about accepting other types of people. I'm a drunk. Look at me. You know, I have rum every single night. Yeah, I'm a drunk, but I'm a happy drunk. I just take people at face value, really. And accept them on their own terms, really. I mean, the other day, actually, when I was in Kidderminster, I met a guy, his name was Sean, and he looked a bit scruffy. He's actually homeless, you know, lived in what he classified as Skid Row in Kidderminster. I thought that was hilarious. You know, lost his house through divorce and what have you, basically homeless. Had some old tats all over it. He looked a bit ragged, but he's the loveliest guy I met in Kidderminster. Absolutely a gorgeous guy. I can't wait to meet him again, you know. He was telling me about all this about Kidderminster and where not to go in Kidderminster, okay? But admittedly, there is rough areas in every town you go. Doesn't matter where you go in the world, you're always going to have a risk to life or a risk to property, through terrorism activity or drunks or kids or, you know, go read the article. It's on my blog, aussieboater.co.uk. There's an article I've written about, you know, listening to other people rather than just making informed decisions for yourself. Anyway, so that's enough I'll say about that. But yeah, drunks don't have any problem with. Dave O'Shea, are you a narrowboat engineer? Get the hell out of here. Well, here we go. I'm looking for a cruiser or a semi-trad. There you go. Not a trad. Not a trad. Cruiser stern, because I love the outdoors, and I still want a place that I can be outdoors, but I could just be on the boat. I could just walk up onto the deck, and if if it's raining, well, I could put one of those, what are they called, pram covers over top or something, or whatever. Or I've got the well deck as well, the front of the boat, somewhere I can be outside. So, but yeah, definitely the back. Semi-trad, because I can use the lockers, things like gas bottles or storage, and also it's where people can sit as well. Because I've got a lot of friends who I want to come and join me on my boat. You know, that's the reason I want. Yeah, that's why I'm steering clear of a trad, really. But anyway, look, I might be like you, Mark. You know, I might be, looking for a cruise and end up buying a traditional anyway. I think it depends on what comes along, really. You know. Right. um, Charlie McCormick. Yogurt pots. Yoghurt. Yogurt as in, your yogurt you eat, and pots, like pans and pots. Yogurt pots it is. It's a group designed for people who are into cruises or GRPs or fiberglass or plastic fantastics or whatever. But it's a group for everybody into a cruiser enthusiast, into cruises. Um, it's a fantastic group. It really is. Even today, I learnt something about carbon monoxide. So I didn't realize carbon monoxide doesn't sink. It's actually lighter than air. So I've had my CO alarm at waist height, just down here. But I've learnt since that it's best to have them at head height. So I just stuck it up there. I had to move it a foot, 2 feet. I've got one in my front cabin right next to my head because they say it's supposed to be right next to your head. So that's where I've got it. So things like that, it's a great group. Learning all about stuff like that, but it's specifically designed for cruiser enthusiasts. Because even though a lot of things are transferable, like 12-volt systems, there's a lot of stuff that, you talk about in narrowboats that you don't talk about on cruisers. They're just a different beast, I guess, The Tupperware Navy, I like that one. Awesome. Thanks, Mick. Right. What have I missed? I'm gonna have a break. Thanks, Davo. Yeah, I do get a lot of. Maybe it's the Aussie charm. Thanks, Davo and Fiona. Or the accent. When we first moved to England, we got an apartment in Sale in the outskirts of Manchester, and then we moved from there to Stockport. And we were one of 33 applicants to get that house, all pet owners. I don't know what it was. I reckon it must have been the Aussie charm, because we got the house. Because I couldn't believe how impossible it is in this country to find a rental when you have pets. It's all the ads are like no pets, but half the country's got pets. So what does everyone do? Lie? Well, we just didn't want to break any rules. So we were one of 33 applicants for that house at Terrace in Stockport, and we got it. And I think it's the Aussie charm. Must be the Aussie charm. And I guess it's just my accent. People hear me and they go, "Hang on, you're not from here." Well, you've come a long way. Did you travel all that way on your boat? Oh, I get sick of that question. Thanks, Paul. Really proud. Paul Roberts, he's one of my admins now he's actually helped my main admin, Tonya, look after my channel. Well, I had a break from social media because when lockdown hit, I copped it. I really copped it from all angles. Part of the reason why I shut everything down, especially YouTube comments, because it really affected me. You'll see if you've seen some of my blogs, I was in tears because some of the comments were so nasty, from trolls and haters and people. I just can't believe there's so much hate in the world. It's really bad. It's really bad. So, and it's really bad for people like me who are sensitive and emotional, who just can't get on with doing their thing. But during lockdown, I couldn't do anything right. People were complaining about every little thing that I was doing, whether it be from lighting a fire to having a barbecue to having a tent. God, the tent was controversial, wasn't it? You know, I'm like, well, it's the only way I can keep clean. It's the only way I can have, keep myself hygienically clean over the lockdown, was to have a outdoor shower. But yeah, I copped it. So Paul, and Nicholas and Tonya and Anita all sort of banded together to keep my group going over the lockdown while I had a bit of a break, because it was just all getting a bit much. In fact, I even copped it from a so-called friend on Facebook, so I shut it down as well. Got rid of all of it, except YouTube, but just switched off comments. Best thing I ever did. Best thing I ever did. But I got back on Facebook because I do like to keep in contact with my friends back in Australia, and also I love my group. I really missed my group, and I'm now, a member of a couple of other groups as well. Not many, but I was subscribed to tons of groups on Facebook. And it just got a bit much as well. Again, notification, information overload. So got rid of it all. But yeah, really missed my group, because it is a fun group and we hardly have any problems on it whatsoever. I could probably count on two hands since I've started the group how many issues we've had with people. Yes, don't fucking give me your attitude, huh? God, this is a problem. See, when I have a few of these, I feel a bit more. She's sitting there going, looking at me. So is Kinka and Electra. They're both looking at me, going, "Feed me, Daddy, feed me." Your biscuits. So the B word now. That's it. Your biscuits. Your biscuits. There you go. There you go. Little treat. There you go. I'm bad, I know, but they're fit as anything. They look like they're 1 year old, but they're actually 8. They're actually seniors now. Stafford. I love Staffordshire. I love this whole area. The Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal is probably a new favourite canal, actually, but definitely the southern part. But I do love Stafford. It's beautiful, beautiful area. Right up to Great Haywood as well. Loved Great Haywood. God, I love it all, really. What's not to love? Okay, there's maybe a few dodgy areas around, maybe around Birmingham or Manchester or London. Don't even get me started on London. Yeah, I got as far as south as Slapton, and it's just for some, I don't know, it's past Leighton Buzzard, and everybody's attitudes began to change. It was like this, careless. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't go any further south. Not to mention the amount of locks there were to actually get down to London, and they're all big double heavy locks. I'm like, yeah. So I turned around. Obviously came back, but I absolutely love Staffordshire. Wow. Yeah. So that's no problem about hanging around here for the winter. It's just beautiful, and the people are really lovely. Really friendly people. Everybody says hello. Everyone's courteous. Everyone gets out of the way. When I'm riding my bike, and I'm a friendliest cyclist than ever. I always say good morning to people when I'm riding past. Good morning. Lovely day. It's a great conversation starter. Yes, Keith. I really love the Coventry as well. That's where health and well-being is, Keith, my mate Keith. So his son has actually expressed an interest in buying my boat. His son's only 18, but I'm like, oh, yes. I'd love a younger guy to buy, young bloke to buy my boat. If he's that into it, absolutely. So it looks like I've already got a buyer lined up for this boat. I really fully support the younger generation supporting life on the water, life in England on the canals, really do. So yeah, so I will be around that way eventually, Keith. Yeah, we'll see what happens with my knee. If I can give my knee a bit of a rehab for a couple of months over winter. I do think that I'm probably going to find a narrowboat around that area. Midlands. Who was it that told me that Midlands is the best place to cruise? It really is. There's tons of canals. Someone was telling me there's more canals in Birmingham than there are in Venice. So yes, providing we don't get all locked down again, and the Canal and River Trust don't lock us down. I would like to come back up this way because I haven't been to Birmingham yet. I haven't explored any of the canals through Birmingham. This is as far east as I've come. So I would like to. Oxford Canal was beautiful. Everywhere is beautiful. Coventry, I wouldn't say Coventry itself, but Coventry Canal was gorgeous. So yes, Keith, I will be back up your way eventually, if only to deliver my boat. It really depends on where I get my narrowboat, I guess, Anyway, that's for next year. But yes, we will catch up again. Love to. Keith is the guy who's renovating his boat, turning it into all electric and doing other stuff like recycling water and fantastic stuff. Can't wait to see the finished product, mate. Really can't. And I'll do a vlog on it for everybody to see as well. That'll be awesome. Right, how long are we going for? Oh my god, we're going for an hour and 11 minutes. God, that's a long time. Oh, Carl, yes, Carl. That was you, wasn't it? Yes. Not too high, not too snobby, but very Goldilocks. That's a good term, Goldilocks. I mean, because part of the reason why I want to hang around this area is because I love to go back up north. I love the north. I lived in the north for 3 years. And have traveled all over the north as well, but best kind of value for your cruise, I think, is down here, Midlands. Not too snobby, not too cold. I mean, it's a couple of degrees warmer down here, kind of. Maybe. I've yet to, I'll do the winter down here, won't I? But I mean, it's not too much further. You go up to Grey Haywood, and then I'm almost at Stoke-on-Trent, and then you're at North anyway. You want to come up again? Come on. Come on. Come on, make another appearance. Come on. There she is. Aww. Aww. I hate having the coat on too. She's such a cuddly kitty. She really is. Get off my beard. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh God, claws are sharp, aren't they? do. Right. Well, I've been talking for a fair while. Let me just radio. I should really listen to more radio. I really should. Who mentioned that? Mick. Mick. I don't. Yeah. I listen to a lot of music now. I've got a friend in Manchester, Emma, who sends me playlists of all new music and stuff all the time. So I tend to listen to a lot of music. And I grew up with music as well. So music's part of my soul. So I tend to listen to a lot of music. But really, it doesn't really matter what I listen to. It's really just the company that I like. I speak to Charlie a lot. Charlie and I converse a hell of a lot through WhatsApp. And so, he's sort of a bit of a loner as well. So we sort of help each other out, give each other company. So that's really good. I think it's just, in the day, it does get kind of isolated on a boat. And I suppose a bit lonely, So yeah, we talk about, because he's so interesting, Charlie. He's a fully qualified chef. He's a fully qualified electronics engineer. He's built like hundreds of engines. So he knows all about the mechanics of engines. He's a federal agent as well, so I can't tell you what kind of federal agent. All I know is he's the federal agent. That's all I can mention, actually. I've probably said too much there. But he's a federal agent, so that's interesting as well. So I get to hear all about all the federal military stuff. um, and yeah, and he's a generally nice guy. Oh, he's into boats, of course, you know. So we talk about all sorts of stuff. He's been great value, Charlie. Even though he's 4,000 miles away, and 6 hours behind. So yeah, that's been great. So yeah, we chat all the time. That's my company, and I do have a bit of news on. Again, it's just company. It's just having the voice. So I've got a radio. I should listen to BBC Radio 4. But I'm more of a sort of visual person, I guess. You know, I do watch Netflix. I'm watching Schitt's Creek at the moment on Netflix. I don't know if any of you have ever seen Schitt's Creek, but it's very funny. Eugene Levy, Daniel Levy, and Catherine O'Hara. Brilliant. Oh, what's your problem? Oh, whinge. We'll just stay there quietly, okay? All right. Oh, I can see I've got a few trolls in the live chat. Right, yes. Well, so I don't read it. Just, so I've got Charlie acting as my moderator, see? So, that's all I've got to say to you trolls. If you haven't got something nice to say, don't say it, because I'm not going to hear it anyway. Or read it, or anything. You're wasting your time. You really are. There's no way you can really get to me. Not now. You used to be able to. Granted, you used to be able to get to me, but not anymore. Yeah, go away then. God, such a whinger. Right. Oh, I think that'll do me, actually. I've been talking for a fair whack of time. I need to go and check on my generator. I need to go and have a meal. What time is it? 7 o'clock. Yeah, it's about dinner time now. I'm sure I've missed a lot of questions. If you've got any questions, though, send me an email. More than happy to respond. Or join my group on Facebook. Or send me an email through my website, aussieboater.co.uk. More than happy to respond to you. If you've got any sort of specific questions about, what I do or life aboard or anything like that, I love meeting new people, love meeting my subscribers. So we're all in this together, especially at the moment with all this corona crap around, so yeah, I think we're going to wind it up there, folks. It's been a good, wow, almost an hour and a half. That's quite a long time. It does take a lot out of you. I have a big sigh of relief when I finish a live stream. I noticed, Mark, you did yours for about 45 minutes, was it? 40 minutes or something? It's a monologue, essentially, for that period of time. It does take a lot out of you. So I think we'll start winding things up now. Oh, Narrowboat Girl, hello. I know Narrowboat Girl is just getting used to doing live streams. She did her second one the other day. A bit of fun, aren't they? And I wish you all the best with your career as well. Sounds fascinating career too. Once all this corona crap's out of the way, techie stuff. It's a good industry to get into, I think. Yeah, I do try and say hello to everyone where I can. I'm sure I've missed a lot of people, but It goes so fast, you know. I had like 52 people online at one point, you know. I don't know how other people do it. It just goes so quickly. And then of course I'm explaining a topic, and then there's more and more messages come through, and I'm just like sitting here peering and scrolling, going, yeah, what? um, I'll have to go back and read them all now as well. Might record another vlog about, you know, um, post live stream vlog, and, you know, answer some questions or something. Actually not a bad idea, actually. But yeah, look, if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to sing out to me. aussieboater.co.uk/contact. Yeah, look forward to meeting you or chatting with you or what have you. But look, I know this corona thing's really caused so many goddamn issues. Oh, and you know, the worst is yet to come. I hate to say it. It really is. And a lot of you have either lost loved ones, lost your jobs, lost your livelihoods. But you know, chin up. It will get better. It will get better. But please stay safe, everyone, and look after each other. Look after your loved ones. You know, I know it's really difficult. It really is. In fact, I got there's part of the reason why I jumped into a hotel, because I needed some time out, because I got news about my mother having it wasn't tragic accident, it was a serious accident. She's okay, thankfully. She's still in hospital, but she's been in surgery and had intensive care and what have you. But from 10,000 miles away, you know, what can I do? You know, I was even looking at thinking about selling the boat to pay for my trip back to Australia. And so it's been a hellish week, you know. So that's not even coronavirus related. So I really feel for everyone who's suffering in one way or another. I really do. It's a really hard time for everybody at the moment. So best thing I can do is keep on doing my vlogs, keep on smiling, because I know that it helps some of you out. So on that note, I'm gonna love you and leave you. I think my throat's getting a bit sore now. Anyway, I need to go and have some more rum. But listen, yeah, thank you everyone. Thanks for joining me, and have a great Sunday night. And I'll see you online, see you on my vlogs very soon. See you later, everyone. Now, how do I turn this thing off? Press. What do I press? Oh my God. Oh, press the X. There we go. There we go.